Chapter 71. Someone from the HQ, not enough to go round. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. His younger sister and father were awestruck. The airship cabin was no less opulent than their mansion. If not for them coming in from the outside, they would have thought this was a mansion's interior. This airship is too luxurious, son. How much did you spend? Not much, just $8.8 billion. 8.8 million. That's not really much. Hold on a second. Did you say 8.8 billion? Ling Tianxi was astonished. So expensive. It's all right, just small change. Small change. Ling Tianxi's mouth twitched. How he wished he could knock his son's head. How could Ling Jiao say $8.8 billion was just small change? He was in a stitherem. Do you want to go to the wilderness, Xiaotong? The wilderness. Of course. Number 9, activate the stealth mode and go to the wilderness immediately. Yes, sir. The maglev airship lifted off and disappeared from above the mansion. Half an hour later, they came to the Guanshan ranch a few hundred miles away. Looking out, it was a vast forest and grassland accompanied by a stream and crystal-clear pond. Above him was blue sky. Surrounding him were the undulating mountains divided by a valley where a river ran through, and an endless forest stretching into the horizon. Winding stream and river, white clouds and blue sky. Even the air was the best here, everything in harmony with nature. This place is beautiful. His younger sister was in awe. I have lost count for how many years I haven't seen this beautiful scenery, his father said. Let's get down there. They just enjoyed the view as they meandered on the grassland, sat on the meadow to take a rest and had their meal. The next early morning, the maglev airship returned to the base city just in time to send his father to work and his younger sister to school, after which Ling Jiao returned home to continue this self-cultivation practice. He started by studying the Shinra Tensei in the morning, Eightfold Rolling Thunder in the afternoon, and Gene Arcana Absorption in the evening. His schedule was tightly packed. A week had passed just like that. This morning, Ling Jiao got a call from Luo Jia, saying that the HQ had sent someone over and wanted him to return to office for a review. Ling Jiao wasted no time and drove to the company. He saw the reviewer, a somewhat skinny middle-aged man with a crew cut. The man looked like he could float in the wind, but his aura was intimidating, especially his pair of knife-like eyes. Let me introduce, Ling Jiao. Luo Jia said enthusiastically. This is Jing Biao from the HQ. He will conduct a review on you. Hello, Mr. Jing, Ling Jiao said. You look full of beans, kid. Jing Biao guffawed. The purpose I am here in Lantian Base City this time is to see you, besides visiting my hometown. I haven't come back for quite some time. You are from Lantian, too, Mr. Jing Biao? Ling Jiao asked. Yeah. My mother is a local, and I lived with my grandparents in Lantian when I was small until the dire beasts invaded. Jing Biao let out a smile. It has been 30 years since then. Ling Jiao nodded lightly. Let us cut to the chase, Jing Biao said. I have read your file, kid. At 16, you have gained Earth and Gravity. Type Arcana, awakened less than 1 year, and now a level .4 Arcanist. Am I right? You are right, sir. Ling Jiao nodded. 16 years old, Arcana Awakening is less than a year, a level .4 Arcanist, and the speed of your self-cultivation is all right. You meet the super training camp requirement. Jing Biao said. Just all right. As far as he knew, his speed of self-cultivation was unsurpassed in Lantian Base City, yet it was just all right in Jing Biao's eyes. That was disheartening. Something you may not know about Ling Jiao, Mr. Jing, Luo Jia said. At the start, Ling Jiao was using beginner Gene Arcana to absorb Gene Arcana. He gained intermediate Gene Arcana through his own effort. It startled Jing Biao to hear that. Ling Jiao used beginner Gene Arcana, not advanced Gene Arcana when he first got started. That's right, Luo Jia said. After the awakening, he signed a C-level contract with the company and he used only beginner Gene Arcana. Jing Biao was shocked. If this is true, then Ling Jiao's self-cultivation speed is quick indeed. He looked at Ling Jiao. At first, I thought you were just like other major clan disciples, using intermediate and advanced Gene Arcana as a start. Ling Jiao forced a smile, how he wished he could be so lucky. The sad thing was, he was not. Getting this level of attainment by using only beginner Gene Arcana, the speed of your self-cultivation is nothing short of genius. Jing Biao said slowly. You meet all the requirements of the super training camp, kid. But there is still a problem if you want to get a place in the super training camp. Why is that, Mr. Jing? Luo Jia frowned. Jing Biao let out a sigh, then continued. There is a quota of 200 people for the super training camp each year. That's not enough to go round. You couldn't imagine how many arcanists are trying to get into the super training camp. The competition is beyond thinking. Just 200 people. Ling Jiao poked out his tongue. Pangu was the world's top arcana combine. It had branches all over the world, and the super training camp was open to arcanists from around the world. But it only took in 200 people from among all the arcanists in the world. The level of competition was mind-boggling. The HQ has allocated 3 places for Chang'an Bay City, from which 2 geniuses have been shortlisted. So there is only 1 place left, Jing Biao said. The entire Chang'an Bay City and the 40.1 satellite base cities under its jurisdiction are competing for that one last place. You can imagine how tough the competition is. Ling Jiao was silent. The super training camp was open to all arcanists of Pangu. Anyone who met the requirements could apply to take part in the training camp. An arcanist who had awakened no more than 2 years. Must be a level .4 arcanist. Not older than 20 years old. Anyone who met these conditions was qualified to apply. But there were not enough places to go round. Fierce was not the word for the competition. I have seen the list of applicants of Chang'an Bay City. Ling Jiao was no doubt outstanding at his age. Jing Biao continued. He is unrivaled in the 40.1 satellite base cities but not Chang'an Bay City. Chang'an Bay City. Chapter 72. Mighty Mammoth Form, Sonic, Speed Arcana. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Chang'an Base City was the only large and primary base city in the Northeast. Its status was akin to a provincial capital 30 years ago. Its massive population came with many powerful fighters and different forces. There were countless geniuses born here every year. Many forces have gone to great lengths to get this one place by either buying it directly or secure it through personal connections. Jing Biao spoke slowly. Many people, high up in the company management and originated from Chang'an Bay City, used their personal connections just to get this one place. So intense a competition. Ling Jiao was discouraged. My chance would be slim if that is the case. You will have little hope if you are just an ordinary genius. I am here in Lantian Bay City is just a formality. But things would be different if you are a super genius. Jing Biao let out a smile. The purpose for the company to organize the super training camp is to build a network of talents and train top fighters for the company. So if you are strong and terrific enough, you would emerge a victor. What should I do, sir? Ling Jiao quickly asked. After a round of selection process, there are 4 contenders for the last place. 5 if including you. Jing Biao grinned. The other 4 contenders have the support of 4 major forces behind them. You are at a disadvantage in this respect. The only way to win is to defeat them. Defeat them. Ling Jiu was startled. Yup. Defeat them. Only by defeating them could you prove yourself that you are more talented than they are and could secure the place for yourself. Jing Biao guffawed. And that will depend on whether you are gutsy enough. I would like to give it a shot, sir. Ling Jiu nodded. Very well. Jing Biao let out a smile as he patted Ling Jiu on the back. Get ready. I will arrange for a sparring session as soon as possible. Yes, sir. For the following period, Ling Jiu stayed back home to practice his cultivation. He was still not confident enough despite having the ability to defeat a level 0.5 Arcanist. After all, he was still a level 0.4 Arcanist. It would be nice if I could ascend to level 0.5 before going to Chang'an Bay City. With this thought in mind, Ling Jiu browsed the mall as he wanted to find a treasure of heaven and earth like the snow dragon bile to enhance his strength. But he was disappointed. Effective treasures of heaven and earth were too expensive, he had got not enough contribution points. Those treasures of heaven and earth that he could afford were basically useless. He shook the thought from his mind and focused on practicing his cultivation. A week had passed quickly. Today, Ling Jiu got a call from Luo Jia. Ling Jiu, Mr. Jing has made arrangement. He asked you to pack up and follow him to Chang'an Bay City tomorrow morning. Understood, Miss Luo. The next morning, after saying his goodbye to his family, Ling Jiu hopped on to Jing Biao's maglev airship and headed toward Chang'an Bay City. Ling Jiu. Jing Biao smiled at him. We will arrive in Chang'an Bay City in half an hour. Before we get there, I need to tell you about the other 4 contenders. Thank you, sir. Ling Jiu was grateful. These 4 guys are not just any contenders. 3 of them are from Chang'an Bay City's 3 major forces, namely Yang Group, AI Family, and Chang'an Military District. Jing Biao smiled. The Yang family has spent $50 billion to buy a place. But of course, that young chap from the Yang family is talented in his own right. And I don't have to tell you how powerful the AI family and Chang'an Military District are. The last contender is the toughest, he is the child of the company's vice president. Ling Jiu instantly frowned. The power structure of Pangu Arcana Combine was like other Arcana establishments, and the person at the helm of the company was its founder, Emperor Might. Emperor Might was Pangu's director and president, who had the ultimate say in the company. His words could never be disputed. Under Emperor Might were 4 vice presidents. And under the vice presidents were departmental managers and base city managers. Judging from this power structure, the vice presidents wielded immense power in Pangu Arcana Combine. Let us start with the guy from the Yang family. Jing Biao continued. His name is Yang Tian, a level 0.4 Arcanist, specializing in mighty mammoth form, which is one of the nastiest dire beasts. After attaining mighty mammoth form, Yang Tian has gained a tremendous increase in strength and defense ability. He could increase his strength 100-fold. His strength is terrific. Mighty mammoth form. 100-fold increase in strength. There was an interesting look in Ling Jiu's eyes as he found that this ability was like his tungsten form. AI Shangqing from the AI family is a level 0.4 Arcanist, whose main specialties are fire and wind manipulations. He could manipulate a special kind of fire. Undying skyfire, the temperature of which can be as high as 5,000 degrees Celsius, extremely lethal. 5,000 degrees Celsius. Ling Jiu almost felt breathless at hearing that, considering the surface temperature of the sun was only 6,000 degrees Celsius. Chu Ding, from the military district, is a level 0.4 Arcanist with Vajra Wolf Claw and Sonic. Speed Arcana. His Wolf Claw is tough and sharp, and he can move as fast as Sonic Speed. The last one was Chang Jiandong, a level 0.5 Arcanist, whose Arcana are Gigantization Arcana and 100-fold Gene Arcana. He could turn into a 10-meter tall giant, increase his strength and defense ability tenfold and his gene arcana in his body 100-fold. A 100-fold increase in gene arcana is also considered an arcana. Ling Jiu was puzzled. Of course, Jing Biao nodded. Chang Jiandong's physique is different from normal people in that his gene arcana is 100 times that of normal people. Just like in comics, the unusually high amount of chakra is also an arcana. All right. Ling Jiu had gotten the picture. The gene arcana is the MP of an arcanist. The stronger the gene arcana was, the more tenacious an arcanist would be in combat. Strong was not the word for a 100-fold increase in gene arcana. Not half bad at all for an ability. It would be terrific if I replicate this ability. He now realized he already had 5 types of arcana. Putting the life-saving shadow form arcana aside, his earth and gravity manipulations, teleportation and tungsten form were superb, especially terrific when they were used in combos. The only downside was that they consumed too much gene arcana. If he could replicate Chang Jiandong's 100-fold gene arcana, it would be a perfect complement to the shortcoming of his existing arcana. Too bad that there is another month to go before I can perform another replication. Ling Jiu sighed. As Ling Jiu was silent, Jing Biao thought he was stunned. Feeling the pressure, he laughed. A little. But that won't deter me. Ling Jiu let out a confident smile. I am confident of crushing them. Very well. Jing Biao looked impressed. That's how a young man should be, spirited and confident. I am looking forward to it, Ling Jiu. I won't let you down. Chapter 73. Arriving in Chang'an, bumping into acquaintances. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Half an hour had passed, and the airship arrived in the air above Chang'an Bay City. Outside the window, was a bird's-eye view of a massive city in a great land, Chang'an Bay City. In contrast, Lantian Bay City looked like a backward village. Looking down from above, there were skyscrapers, and streets and shops that were filled with people. There were also aircraft flying around. Aircraft was a rare sight in Lantian Bay City. But here in Chang'an Bay City, maglev motorcycles and cars were common. They were as common as private cars, shuttling around on the air above the Bay City. Be nov calm, there are 50 to 60,000 arcanists living in Chang'an Bay City, besides the many wealthy people. So aircraft is a common sight. Flying in the city doesn't require stealthy mode to be turned on, which is slightly different from the situation in Lantian Bay City. As they spoke, the airship had come above a 30-story building, which was the branch of Pangu Arcana Combine in Chang'an Bay City. Here we are. The two alighted and came unhindered to the general manager's office, where they met up with Ai Tianfan, the general manager of Pangu Chang'an. Oh, you two are here, Jing Biao. Ai Tianfan showed up and welcomed them with a smile. Just arrived. Jing Biao pointed at Ling Jiu. This is the kid I have brought from Lantian Bay City. Ai Tianfan looked at Ling Jiu and held out his hand. I have heard about you long ago, kid. Good to see you. What a pleasure, Mr. Ai. Ling Jiu held out his hand. What a fine young man. Ai Tianfan patted Ling Jiu on his shoulder, then sat Jing Biao and Ling Jiu down. I have arranged a spar as per your request, Jing Biao. I can call them over and start the spar any time. Then let us make it this afternoon. Jing Biao glanced at Ling Jiu. I think he needs a good rest after the journey. Let him have something to eat and replenish his energy before the match. You really look after this kid, Jing Biao. Ai Tianfan bantered. We have a rare thoroughbred from Lantian. It will only be proper for me to take good care of him. Besides, it is also my duty to select the right elites for the super training camp. Jing Biao looked at Ling Jiu. It is your free time until 3 in the afternoon when you have to come back to the company. Yes, sir. Being fresh off the boat, Ling Jiu looked forward to exploring Chang'an Bay City. After all, this was the ancient capital city of 13 dynasties, rich with cultural and historical significance. Besides, it was also the only large base city in the northeast. It was a must-visit place. Maybe I should get something to eat first. Ling Jiu took out his mobile phone and searched for food places. Just then, two girls emerged from the company building. They were a perfect 10. The only fly in the ointment was that one of the girls was wheelchair-bound. Ling Jiu could not help but take a second glance at seeing the desirable girls. He found that one of them looked rather familiar. Missy. Ling Jiu could not help but call out. The pretty girl pushing the wheelchair suddenly stopped in her tracks. When she spun around and saw Ling Jiu, she appeared startled. "It is you, Ling Jiu." "Yeah. I didn't expect to see you here." Ling Jiu chortled. "I guess someone up there really wants us to see each other." "Indeed." Yuha reached to draw her hair to the back of her ear and smiled. "Are you here in Chang'an Bay City for work or pleasure?" "For the super training camp selection." Ling Jiu was forthright. "The selection will only start in the afternoon, and I am hungry now. Since you are a local, do you have any suggestions?" Super training camp selection. Yuha and the desirable girl in a wheelchair exchanged a look. They both saw the surprised expression in each other's eyes. "You have asked the right person. I know exactly where to find good food in Chang'an. Tell me, what is your preference? Hot pot. Veggies. Seafood. French, Japanese, or local food?" Yuha was hospitable. "Local food." Ling Jiu smiled. "Rujiamo, 1, Paoma, 2, Biangbiang noodles, 3, Hele buckwheat noodles, 4, or anything. I am not that particular with food." "So these are your favorite, eh? Then you should go to the food street." Yuha beamed. Depiyuan, West Yangshi, Dongxinji Street, and Dekijia Alley are the famous food streets in Chang'an. The nearest would be Depiyuan and West Yangshi. Then I will choose Depiyuan. Thanks for the recommendation, Missy. I will go now. You are going alone? Yuha's eyes flashed. It's not like I have a choice. Ling Jiu shrugged. But I wonder if I have the honor of having lunch with you two pretty girls. Sure. I am very much free. Yuha chortled. But first, let me make a call. She took out her phone and dialed. I am sorry I can't have lunch with you. I have met a very important client. Done. Yuha hung up the phone and winked at Ling Jiu with a bright smile. We are ready to go, young man. Did you not agree to lunch with that person? Is it okay for you to stand him up? The desirable girl in a wheelchair said. I never said that I would have lunch with him. It was my dad. He took things in his own hands and made the date for me. Yuha blinked. I couldn't find an excuse to decline earlier. But now it is different. Ling Jiu had almost embarrassed himself by thinking that she was interested in him. Let's get inside the car, ladies. You have got a maglev airship now, parvenu. Not long after, they arrived at Depiyuan, found a place, and waited for food to be served. This is my bestie, onling.er, Yuha said. The girl in a wheelchair rolled her eyes at Yuha. You have finally remembered me. I thought you had forgotten me already. Come on. I will not forget you even if I forget myself. Yuha reached to pinch young Ling Er's tender face, then pointed at Ling Jiu. This is Ling Jiu from Lantian Bay City. He might look young, but he is already a billionaire. Nice to meet you, Miss Yang. The same to you. The three of them chatted away as they ate. Ling Jiu and Yang Ling.er talked little. It was Yuha who did much of the talking. She looked particularly happy today. Did you mention you are taking part in the super training camp selection, Ling Jiu? AI Yuha asked. He nodded. Have you learned about your opponents? I read their files. They are all awesome and seemingly with powerful backgrounds. So, are you confident of beating them? I wouldn't have been in Chang'an if I weren't confident enough. I feel so much more at ease to be around you compared to the other guys. I hope you will get the place. Thank you. Yuha. Just then, a suppressed angry voice barged in. Didn't you tell me you were meeting a very important client? Don't tell me that this pretty boy is that client of yours. 1. Meat sandwiched in bread https://thewalksoflife.com/chinese.hamburgers.ro.jia.mo/ 2. Hot stew of chopped-up steamed leavened flatbread, cooked in lamb. Chapter 74. Being made a romantic rival, Gigantization Arcana. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. AI Yuha looked back and saw a strapping young man walking into the restaurant. Didn't you tell me you were meeting a very important client? Don't tell me that this pretty boy is that client of yours. The young man pointed at Ling Jiu, resentment filling his eyes. He felt he had been cheated. How could this pretty boy be a very important client? He is that important client. What's wrong with it? AI Yuha furrowed her brows. An important client. A pretty boy. The young man sneered. Yuha, I have gone through a lot of trouble, even getting help from Mr. AI, just to have lunch with you. His eyes reddened. But you stood me up for a pretty boy. Yuha, what is your relationship with this pretty boy? Do I need your permission to have lunch with anyone at all, Chang Jiandong? AI Yuha continued. So are you done yet? Why do you have to act this way every time? Fine. Please leave immediately since you are not listening. Leave. I will. But before that, I want to know who this pretty boy is and why you stood me up because of him. While speaking, he suddenly grabbed at Ling Jiu. Follow me out there, you pretty boy. The young man's move was quick and brutal. Ling Jiu did not see it coming and was caught by his throat. The powerful grab lifted him and flung him out of the restaurant. Luckily, Ling Jiu could react agilely to this sudden occurrence. He did a somersault in midair, avoiding an embarrassing fall by landing on his 2 feet. Even then, he was furious. I am here just to have lunch, yet someone sees me as his romantic rival. Are you stupid or something? Are you mad, Chang Jiandong? AI Yuha got to her feet angrily. Give me a moment, Yuha. Let me deal with this pretty boy first. After saying that, he darted out of the restaurant with fury in his eyes. Don't you know my rules, kid? Rules. Ling Jiu had a stern look in his eyes. The last time a pretty boy tried to chat up Yuha, I broke his legs. The one who came before that last one became paralyzed after being hit by a truck. Chang Jiandong smirked. And you are even more awful. How dare you ruin my hard-fought chance? How do you like to die? I have no idea about what your rules are. But I know you must be an idiot. Ling Jiu looked at Chang Jiandong, as if he was a retard. A person like you wants to date a girl. Perish the thought. If I were Miss AI, I will not consider you, even if all the men in the world have died. You are a retard, idiot. You must have a death wish. Infuriated, Chang Jiandong stomped his foot on the ground, which cracked in an instant. Using a terrific bouncing force, he launched himself at Ling Jiu like a bolt of lightning. Child's play. You are wasting your time. Ling Jiu sneered as he raised his right hand slowly. Shinra Tensei. Boom. A burst of horrible power sent Chang Jiandong flying backward. Punk. Chang Jiandong kipped up to his feet. The next moment, his body ballooned rapidly, and he turned into a 10-meter tall giant in just a matter of a few breaths. His body was as tall as a 3-story building with his knotted muscles looking like a wall of steel. Blue veins popped up on his forehead. Chang Jiandong looked like the titan mentioned in the myth, exuding a terrifying, murderous aura. The coldness in his eyes was intimidating as if it could freeze everything over. "You have pissed me off, kid." His voice was forceful like a great bell, carrying endless anger. "I will smash your bones and crush your skull to let you know the consequence of pissing me." Chang Jiandong. Ai Yuha had now lunged out in furious. "Are you done yet? Yuha, this pretty boy is harassing you. I won't let him off." Chang Jiandong said coldly. "Whatever he does to me has nothing to do with you." Ai Yuha was extremely infuriated. "And let me tell you, I will not even consider you, even if all the men in the entire world have died. Don't harass me again. Otherwise, we won't be friends anymore. How could you treat me like this for the sake of this pretty boy, Yuha?" What Ai Yuha said came like a bolt from the blue. He looked at her in disbelief. She had never said such a thing to him last time. He was in great distress. Meanwhile, Ai Yuha utterly went bananas at hearing what Chang Jiandong said. "Can't you understand how I treat you has nothing to do with Ling Jiu?" But she had still underestimated how stubborn Chang Jiandong was. After a moment of daze, Chang Jiandong suddenly glared at Ling Jiu. "It is you. It is all because of you. You shameless pretty boy. Yuha wouldn't have treated me like this if not for you. I will kill you." Ling Jiu had no word for it. How could anyone be so stupid? "Die!" Chang Jiandong roared as he flung a punch at Ling Jiu. Despite in gigantization form, his movement did not slow down but become even faster. Truly a retard. Shinra Tensei. Ling Jiu waved. Boom. Chang Jiandong was flung again even though he was now a 10-meter tall giant with a tenfold increase in his strength. He still had a glass jaw in front of Shinra Tensei. Ling Jiu could already suppress a 30-meter tall Titan Tempest Ape with his gravity arcana, let alone a person like Chang Jiandong. D***. The battle became meaningless. No matter how enraged Chang Jiandong was, he could not get near Ling Jiu. It became a lopsided battle, as Shinra Tensei had completely suppressed him. "Knock it off." As Chang Jiandong lunged back after being sent flying again, Ai Yuha made her move, freezing him on the spot. "Let's end it here." Ai Yuha did not even bother to look at Chang Jiandong as she turned to Ling Jiu. "We will go to another place." "Sure." They paid and left the restaurant. It was not until they had gone a far distance could Chang Jiandong free himself. He fell to his knees and howled. "No. No. No. I am sorry for what happened just now." Ednl.co Ai Yuha forced a smile after switching to another restaurant. "I didn't expect that this problem of mine would get you involved. I am sorry about that." "It's okay. I bet anyone would have gone mad in facing such an admirer." Ling Jiu waved with a smile. "But I am surprised by how mad you could be. You terrified the hell out of me." As Ai Yuha blushed, Yang Ling.er quickly came to her rescue. "She has a soft temperament. Just that she was really pissed just now." "I can see that." Ling Jiu nodded in acknowledgement. "We lose our temper now and then. Let's not talk about this anymore. It ruins the mood." Ai Yuha looked at Ling Jiu. "You are not half bad at all. I am surprised that you could have him in the palm of your hand. Don't forget that he is one of your 4 greatest contenders." "I just got lucky." Ling Jiu let out a faint smile. "I wouldn't be so confident if you were my opponent. Your Dimension Arcana is the best in class. It is all right." The incident earlier had spoiled their mood. They no longer had the appetite. So after getting a quick bite, they went out for a walk. It was the time for Ling Jiao to return to the company. Ai Yuha and Yang Ling knew what he was going to do, and were eager to tag along. So they were back to the company together. Chapter 75. Sparring begins, neck and neck. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Back to the company, Ling Jiao and the two saw and greeted Ai Tianfan and Jing Biao. Ai Tianfan and Jing Biao nodded slightly. The sparring is about to begin, Ling Jiao. Are you ready? I am ready. Ling Jiao nodded. Then let's go. Ai Tianfan brought them to a large training hall. Ling Jiao was surprised to see crowd gather around. And most of them were external personnel. So many spectators. Ling Jiao was startled quietly. Because the last place involves many people and forces, and to guarantee fairness, Mr. AI has invited some spectators, Jing Biao said, as if he had noticed Ling Jiao's puzzlement. With all these people as the witnesses, as long as you can defeat the other 4 contenders, the last place will be yours and no one could dispute that. Of course, if you lose, you could not dispute it too, I understand. Ling Jiao took a deep breath. Everyone. Ai Tianfan came to the center of the training hall and gave everyone a once-over. I will cut the cackle. Please allow me to say just a few words. After rounds of selection, we have finally shortlisted 5 contenders for the last placement in the super training camp. There are more candidates than the openings. So there is only one rule. Survival of the fittest. The strongest person will get the last placement. I announce that the sparring begins. Because this was impromptu sparring, there were few rules. They would draw lots to decide who was going to fight who. The 5 contenders, Ling Jiao, Yang Tian, Chang Jiandong, Ai Shangcheng, and Chu Ding, walked to the center of the training hall and started to draw lots. The results were quickly known. Ling Jiao vs Yang Tian, Shang Aicheng vs Chang Jiandong. Chu Ding from the military district would be on standby while they were drawing lots just now. Chang Jiandong stared dead at Ling Jiao. If not for so many people around, he would have surely charged at Ling Jiao to kill him, although he knew he was not Ling Jiao's match. First session. Yang Tian vs Ling Jiao. All eyes were instantly on the 2 persons in the ring. Who do you think will win? Ai Tianfan asked Jing Biao. It's hard to tell. Jing Biao shook his head. Ling Jiao has earth and gravity arcana, both are for long-range attacks. But Yang Tian has mighty mammoth form arcana, a nasty close-quarters combat arcana. Their fighting styles are vastly different. It is hard to say who will win. But what? Ai Tianfan cocked an eyebrow. Yang Tian's skill was best in class. No level .4 arcanist could beat him in this realm, Jing Biao said slowly. That's for sure. Once Yang Tian shifted to mighty mammoth form, his strength will increase by 100-fold. By then, even earth manipulation and gravity arcana will have a hard time containing it. Ai Tianfan nodded with a smile. But it is still hard to say who will win before the battle ends. You are right. Who do you think will win? Yang Ling asked Ai Yuha. Ling Jiao, of course. Ai Yuha said confidently. Are you sure? Yang Ling was a little surprised. Jing Biao and Ai Tianfan looked at Ai Yuha in disbelief. Why was she so confident when even they were not so sure? No one can beat Ling Jiao below level 5. Ai Yuha let out a confident smile. She had seen how Ling Jiao beat Jin Chao, and how he killed the class .5 dire beasts in Heihu Mountain Pass. She knew Ling Jiao's strength better than anyone else. Are you sure, my dear daughter? Ai Tianfan raised a brow. You will see, Dad. On the other hand, Ling Jiao and Yang Tian had started talking. So you are Ling Jiao, eh? Yang Tian looked at him sideways. I don't know who gives you the courage to come all the way from a village to Chang'an and compete with me for super training camp's last placement. But let me tell you, you will be disappointed. Just cut the cackle. Ling Jiu shrugged. Make your move. You are asking for it. Yang Tian hissed, then his body ballooned rapidly, and he turned into a 5-meter tall mammoth humanoid. His legs and arms were huge. His ears looked like two large fans and he had two sharp fangs. There were also dark green scales covering his body. He was neither mammoth nor human. He was a hybrid of both species. Boom! The granite flooring cracked and shattered at once as Yang Tian stomped his feet on the floor and charged at Ling Jiu. A mammoth always gave the impression that it was heavy and clumsy. But apparently, this was a delusion. The mammoth was quick and could move at 20 kilometers per hour. In another word, it was said to be 5.5 m/s.5 meters per second was only the speed of an ordinary mammoth. As for the best among the mammoth dire beasts, Mighty Mammoth could move at 10 times faster than ordinary mammoths. In addition, it had incredible strength and defense ability. So when Yang Tian moved, he ran like a steed and sent a tremor throughout the training hall. Its mighty mammoth form. Interesting. As osmium soil surrounded Ling Jiu, he turned into a 5-meter tall osmium giant in the blink of an eye and activated tungsten form arcana. What is this kid thinking? He wants to clash with his opponent head-on. He wants to go head-to-head with Yang Tian. He must have hit his head somewhere. Blow that naive kid away, Yang Tian. Those spectators were shocked to see what Ling Jiu was doing. But they quickly derided him. Why going at head-to-head? Jing Biao frowned, thinking that this was very unwise of Ling Jiu. Yang Tian was famous for his strength. By clashing with him head-on, Ling Jiu was punching above his weight. This was stupid of him. Go home, lout. Yang Tian roared as he thrust a big and solid punch at Ling Jiu, who also flung his fist to meet Yang Tian's attack. The two fists clashed like two high-speed trains collided. An ear-shattering sound splintered the glasses around the training hall as Ling Jiu and Yang Tian were forced back at once. They are neck and neck. Those spectators were stunned. Yang Tian's mighty mammoth form had increased his strength by 100-fold, his punching force was as high as 30 tons. Such a horrible attack could smash a van into a thin foil. Yet Ling Jiu had withstood it. Are you kidding me? This kid is a badass. Chapter 76. 3 Arcana, moving in a flash. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. There was an uproar among the crowd. The rock giant is so strong. Jing Biao and Ai Tian Fan exchanged a look. Both were surprised. They knew about the rock giant, which was just a part of Earth-type arcana. Yet it could match the strength of Yang Tian, who had 100-fold increase in strength. Is Ling Jiu having the power-type arcana? Yang Ling.er asked Ai Yuha with a light in her eyes. Not bad for a wise lady like you. You have got a keen eye. Ai Yuha admitted to it. I don't know him well and what type of arcana that is. But one thing's for sure, he has got a power-type arcana. This power-type arcana complements his rock giant well, increasing his strength by 100-fold. The power-type arcana. Ai Tianfan's eyes flashed. Earth manipulation and gravity arcana, and a mysterious power-type arcana. This kid has got 3 arcana up his sleeve. Incredible. Had I known Ling Jiu has triple arcana, I would have let him take the place straight away with no sparring needed. Jing Biao forced a smile. Probably not. Ling Jiu seems to possess 3 types of arcana, but once he attains level 6, earth manipulation and gravity arcana would essentially be considered a single arcana. Ai Tianfan continued. So he practically has got only two types of arcana. In this perspective, the other contenders are just as good as he is. I guess you're right. But at this stage, he has still got the upper hand. Jing Biao smiled. AI Tianfan nodded his agreement. I can't believe it. You. Yang Tian looked at Ling Jiu in disbelief. Since his arcana was awakened, there had been few opponents who dared to clash with him head-to-head, but all of them had failed to withstand his punch. Ling Jiu had not only done that but also gotten even with him. But do you really think you could beat me just because you have withstood a punch from me? Let me tell you. You are daydreaming. Eightfold rolling thunder. Yang Tian roared in anger as the muscles on his right arm burst into power. He struck out a punch like a rumble of rolling thunder. His fist was thrusting toward Ling Jiu like a cannonball. Let's see what you've got. Ling Jiu planted his feet on the ground in a firm horse stance as he flung his fist to meet Yang Tian's punch. A crisp burst of sound followed by a violent air current swept through the entire training hall. The two of them were forced to retreat 7 or 8 meters before they could stabilize their postures. Another neck-and-neck fight. Damn it. Seeing that his most powerful move failed to defeat Ling Jiu, Yang Tian became desperate and attacked Ling Jiu in a frenzy of madness, using his fists, elbows, legs, and knees alternately. He attacked non-stop. Each of his moves came with a deluge of energy, which could smash any ordinary people into a pancake of meat. Ling Jiu just rolled with the punches and parried all the attacks. After a few rounds of frantic assault, Yang Tian was panting and heaving, his face flushed. At last, with a roar of indignation, his body shrank as he had exhausted his Gene Arcana and came out of mighty mammoth form. You have lost. Ling Jiu also came out of tungsten form and retrieved the osmium giant, looking at Yang Tian apathetically. Lost. No way I will lose to you. Yang Tian looked grave. Before he could make another move, a terrifying gravity force came upon him. In his human form, Yang Tian was a sitting duck being pressed down on the floor. He could not even get to his feet, let alone fight. Ling Jiu has won. Jing Biao beamed. In fact, the outcome of the battle has been set when he performed his third arcana. Indeed. AI Tianfan had a complicated look in his eyes. Earth manipulation and gravity arcana are no less powerful than the power-type mighty mammoth form arcana. This kid has got long-range, auxiliary, and short range arcana in one. He is incredibly talented. This is the aptitude we are talking about. Jing Biao let out a smile. There are several billion people in the world. Some of them are inevitably, oddly powerful. So why couldn't it be him? You have a point. AI Tianfan nodded his agreement, then walked to the center of the training room. All right, it's over. Stop fighting. The winner of this sparring is Ling Jiu. Ling Jiu removed the gravity force upon hearing the announcement. As the gravity force was lifted, Yang Tian bounced up to his feet, panting. But he could not accept the outcome. I have not lost. How could I lose to him? I can still fight, that's enough. AI Tianfan's face darkened. Stop the crap and just admit that you have lost. Leave now. Yang Tian shot an indignant look at Ling Jiu before leaving the sparring ring. He dared not defy AI Tianfan's words. Next session. Chang Jiandong vs AI Shangcheng. After calling for the next session, AI Tianfan turned to Ling Jiu. You may watch the sparring, or take a rest in the room next door. Ling Jiu felt the condition of his Gene Arcana in his body and nodded. I will take a rest next door. He came to the training room next door and performed Sea of 100 Rivers to have his Gene Arcana recovered rapidly. The earlier battle had exhausted much of his Gene Arcana. Time passed without him knowing. The next moment he knew it, he heard AI Yuha waking him up. It is now your turn, Ling Jiu. Who won the sparring in the last round? Ling Jiu asked. Take a wild guess. Ai Yuha let out a naughty smile. Ai Shangcheng. Ling Jiu cocked an eyebrow. Bingo. It is not hard to guess. Ling Jiu got up. Chang Jiandong is a weakling. His loss is a matter of course. Next session. Ling Jiu vs. Chu Ding. Ling Jiu and Chu Ding came into the ring. Chu Ding was a tough young man with a crew cut in a military uniform. He stood with his back upright with a tough aura in his demeanor. That, you are good. I will go all out. Chu Ding drawled. I will go all out too. Ling Jiu did not want to underestimate Chu Ding. In addition to Vajra Wolf Claw, Chu Ding had Sonic Speed Arcana. He could move at the speed of sound. Sonic speed is 340 meters per second. That was how quick Chu Ding was. Ling Jiu could not afford to underestimate this opponent who was capable of moving at such a terrifying speed. Let's begin. As Ai Tianfan declared, Chu Ding instantly disappeared from the spot. Eightfold gravity force. As Ling Jiu shouted quietly, a gravity force 8 times higher than normal engulfed an area of 10 meters in radius. Gravity curbed speed, so Ling Jiu could only guard Chu Ding's attack by this means. Just when Ling Jiu performed a gravity force, he felt a chill on his neck. As he looked up, it shocked him to see that Chu Ding had come in front of him. Chu Ding's 4 sharp alloy claws were just centimeters from his throat. Ling Jiu broke out in a cold sweat. Lucky for him, he had used his gravity arcana in time. Otherwise, Chu Ding's wolf claw would have slit his throat. That was close. But I am going to win this fight no matter what. Ling Jiu looked at Chu Ding as he raised his right hand slowly. Shinra Tensei. Boom. A powerful force hit Chu Ding and sent him flying backward. Before he hit the floor, a massive amount of osmium soil appeared out of thin air, then engulfed Chu Ding. As a result, he was kept still in the air. You have lost. Chapter 77. Undying Skyfire, getting the place. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Engulfed in osmium soil in the air, Chu Ding struggled to fight back but found himself helpless against it. Hence, he admitted his defeat reluctantly. The gravity force is suppressing the speed. Type arcana too much. It is. Those spectators blurted out in awe at seeing how Chu Ding's Sonic Speed Arcana, an unfair ability, had met its worst enemy, Gravity Arcana. What else could they say? It is true that the Gravity Arcana could counteract the Sonic Speed Arcana. But don't forget how incredible Ling Jiu can manipulate gravity force. Jing Biao smiled. Indeed. Ai Tianfan nodded his agreement, then walked into the ring. Last session. Ling Jiu vs. Ai Shangcheng. Ling Jiu, to be fair to you, you can choose to either take a 2-hour break or enter the battle immediately. I will enter the battle immediately, Ling Jiu said. We have wasted too much time today. It's almost off working hours. Are you sure? Ai Tianfan asked. I am sure. Ling Jiu nodded. The earlier battle that had only lasted for a moment cost little of his gene arcana. He was totally fine to continue the next session. Then let's begin. Ai Tianfan sent someone to bring out Ai Shangcheng, who was resting next door. This is the last session. This one last battle will decide who is going to take part in the super training camp. Ling Jiu and Ai Shangcheng came to the center of the ring. Ai Shangcheng was a timid teen, handsome but frail. Looking. But Ling Jiu did not want to take chances. The teen was capable of dual arcana of fire and wind manipulations. Besides, he could control a special type of fire with temperature as high as 5,000 degrees Celsius, the undying skyfire. That was how terrific he was. For comparison, the temperature of lava was only 1,400 degrees Celsius, and the sun's surface was 6,000 degrees Celsius. Yet AI Shangqing's fire reached 5,000 degrees Celsius. It was imaginable that this fire would burn him into ashes instantly. So Ling Jiu couldn't be more careful. Here I come. AI Shangqing gave Ling Jiu a heads up as a group of red flames burst out in his hand, and the horrible heat instantly spread. Ling Jiu could already feel the scorching heat from 10 meters away. Isn't this undying skyfire? Ling Jiu's heart skipped a beat. Flaming spear. AI Shangqing shouted in a low-pitched voice and turned the red fiery flare into a flaming spear before shooting it at Ling Jiu. Shinra Tensei. Ling Jiu spread out his right hand. Boom. The surrounding gravity force suddenly reversed and became an expelling force that countered the incoming flaming spear. The next moment, flaming spear was bounced back and away. It stunned AI Shangqing to see his flaming spear bounced back. I didn't know anyone could use gravity this way. Gravity is also a force. Ling Jiu let out a smile. And force has different strengths and directions. Since I can manipulate gravity, I can also manipulate its strength and direction. Gravity force can pull downward, push upward, and go sideways. I see. AI Shangqing was impressed. You really are a dab hand at manipulation of gravity. But you may not withstand my next move with it. AI Shangqing clapped his hands as soon as his voice trailed off. Doomsday fire. Boom. A vast amount of flame burst out of his hand. In the form of an enormous sea of fire, it spread toward Ling Jiu. Those spectators could feel the heating scorching their faces. They quickly covered their faces and retreated. There were scorched marks on the ceiling, flooring, doors, and windows. Rascal. AI Tianfan cursed, then immediately shot his hand out. The entire training hall was then engulfed with a white, chilly air. A frost instantly formed on the ceiling, floor, doors, and windows to prevent the fire from scorching them further. Are you thinking of burning things up? Ling Jiu's mouth twitched. Shinra Tensei. Boom. A terrifying expelling force burst out, driving the sea of fire away before it reversed and engulfed AI Shangqing with gravity. Boom. AI Shangqing was forced to bend down, his face reddening as he struggled against the gravity force. But he did not have the physical arcana that Yang Tian possessed. At last, he was pressed to the floor and could no longer stand up. I concede defeat. After much struggling, AI Shangqing had no choice but to admit that he had lost. The outcome is known. Jing Biao looked at AI Tianfan, grinning. I knew it would turn out this way. This kid's gravity arcana is also a bane for AI Shangqing. AI Tianfan said. Whatever. Ling Jiu has won. Jing Biao gave a smile. AI Tianfan nodded with reluctance. If he could, he would want to give the place to AI Shangqing. But AI Shangqing was just not up to snuff. There was nothing he could do about it. Ling Jiu, you have earned yourself a place in the super training camp. AI Tianfan came to the middle of the ring to announce the ultimate outcome. Thank you, Mr. AI, Ling Jiu said. You don't have to thank me. You earned it. I played no part in it. AI Tianfan held up his hand, then glanced at everyone at the scene. The match has ended here and the outcome has also been announced. You all may leave now. Rascal. An outsider has taken the last place away. Sigh. As indignant as those spectators were, they could do nothing to change it. After they all left, only Jing Biao, AI Tianfan, Ling Jiu, AI Yuha, and Yang Ling.er were in the training hall. You have not let me down, Ling Jiu. Jing Biao walked up to Ling Jiu. 3 of you follow me to the super training camp tomorrow morning. So fast. Ling Jiu was startled. The camp will start on the day after tomorrow. So you have got to register today. Jing Biao reminded him. All right, Ling Jiao nodded helplessly. That meant his original plan was ruined. You too, do pack up tonight too. Jing Biao turned to Ai Yuha and Yang Ling.er. Together with Ling Jiao, follow me to the super training camp tomorrow morning. Yes, sir. Ai Yuha and Yang Ling.er nodded. You two have got the other two places. Ling Jiao looked at the two girls. Why didn't you two tell me earlier? You didn't ask. The two girls giggled. Fine. Ling Jiao rolled his eyes. There were 3 openings for Chang'an Base City. He had not expected that these two girls had seized the other 2 places. He was not questioning how Ai Yuha got a place. But what about Yang Ling.er? Was her arcana very exceptional? All the best. Jing Biao patted Ling Jiao on his shoulder, then left with Qi Tianfan. Congratulations, Brother Ling. Another guy came up. It was none other than Ai Jiacheng, who used to be pretentious in front of Ling Jiao. Now he had a hospitable and humble smile on his face. You are awesome, Brother Ling. Even the 4 contenders aren't your match. Ling Jiao put up a smile. Ai Jiacheng might have apologized in front of Wang Chao last time, but Ling Jiao still did not like this haughty, rich and spoiled brat. It is after working hours. Do you want to have dinner with me? Ling Jiao asked. Before Ai Yuha and Yang Ling.er could answer, Ai Jiacheng chimed in instantly. Sure. Sure. Let's go to dinner together. We have got to celebrate your winning, getting the last seat. Besides, you all are leaving tomorrow. Treat this as a farewell dinner. Then let's go together. Since Ling Jiao and Ai Jiacheng had said so, there was no reason for Ai Yuha and Yang Ling.er to say no. They left the company and came to an upscale restaurant nearby. What would you like to eat, Brother Ling? Ai Jiacheng had an ingratiatory smile on his face as he put the menu in front of Ling Jiao. Chapter 78. Dimensional Fissures. Arriving in Australia. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. They all left early the next morning. They were taking Jing Biao's maglev airship. In Ai Tianfan's words, it was safer to take Jing Biao's maglev airship than taking a jumbo jet. He knew Ling Jiao and others would be in Jing Biao's good hands. Where is the super training camp, sir? As the maglev airship flew at high speed, the 4 of them chatted away while appreciating the scenery outside. Australia. Jing Biao explained. Australia is a big island. Before the dire beast disaster, there were many ancient species in the Australian continent. After the dire beast disaster broke out, the species in Australia, because of the geographical advantage, evolved much quicker than dire beasts in other parts of the world. 30 years have passed since, and now countless terrifying dire beasts are roaming around Australia. Of the 100 most vicious dire beasts in the world, 30 are in Australia. Because of this, Australia is a no-man's land and one of the rare forbidden, dangerous places where no one visits. There is something I don't understand, sir. Why did you say the creatures in Australia evolved much quicker than the dire beasts in the rest of the world? Ling Jiao looked in puzzlement. That is because, Jing Biao paused, there is a dimensional fissure in Australia. You all should know that the gene arcana on Earth come from dimensional fissures. The 3 nodded. Let me put it this way. The level of gene arcana is higher in a location where a dimensional fissure presents. And hence the evolution speed of the creatures, the location is quicker. Just like the land where a river flows, the water sources around the river must be more abundant compared to other places, and so the vegetation along the river thrives much better. That's how things work. There is a dimensional fissure in Australia. Ling Jiao was wide-eyed. Yup. Jing Biao nodded, then continued. During the beginning of the dire beast disaster, dimensional fissure was a symbol of death, calamity, and hell. Because the leaked gene arcana from a dimensional fissure could turn a tame animal into a vicious demon, people were afraid of dimensional fissures. But as the arcanists rose, people started to find that the level of gene arcana's concentration around dimensional fissures was higher than other places and could boost self-cultivation effectiveness. So people started to use dimensional fissures for self-cultivation purposes. Jing Biao let out a smile. There have been 80.1 dimensional fissures found around the world so far, and they are controlled by different major forces in the world. Pangu controls 13 of these dimensional fissures and has built 13 training grounds there. The super training camp in Australia is just one of them. I see. As Ling Jiu finally started to cotton on, another question popped up on his mind. Since gene arcana could leak through dimensional fissures, that means we could also travel through it, right? What does the world on the other side of a dimensional fissure look like? The world on the other side of a dimensional fissure. Ai Yuha and Yang Ling.er looked at Jing Biao with one question in mind. What was the most mysterious place on Earth? The answer was the dimensional fissures, of course. Because of the dimensional fissures and the appearance of the gene arcana, the dire beasts had risen and human technological development had leapfrogged to the era of arcana. It was not an exaggeration to say that the dimension fissures had changed the Earth, propelling the planet off into another orbit. So people were curious about what lay on the other side of the dimensional fissures. The discussion on this topic had never stopped. There were many answers and speculations, but none of them could give a definite answer. I am as clueless as you. Jing Biao forced a smile. The dimension fissures are extremely unstable. Even the toughest material will be crushed into ashes once plunging into a dimensional fissure. That means no one knows what the worlds on the other side of the dimensional fissures look like. Yang Ling.er frowned. You are right. No one knows. Jing Biao nodded. But our exploration of the dimension fissures has never stopped. The government of various countries and major arcana combines have spent a huge number of resources and manpower to study the dimensional fissures. Everyone has an image on their mind. The world on the other side is a land of treasure. At least, the gene arcana concentration is the highest. Indeed. Ling Jiu and the other two nodded in unison. When the concentration level of the leaked gene arcana was already this high, it made everyone wonder how crazy high it would be on the other side. Just this point alone had given enough motivation for humans to explore the dimensional fissures. Perhaps when our technology is advanced enough, or when we could withstand the crushing force of the dimensional fissures, we will be able to travel to the other side. There was a fervent light in Jing Biao's eyes. I believe that day would not be far. Ling Jiu and others nodded again. Human exploration would never stop. Because of the courage to explore, humans had found and invented various manuals, weapons, treasures of heaven and earth, and arcana to survive while battling the dire beasts. As long as humans continue to improve, they would crack the secret of the dimensional fissures. They chatted away as the airship traveled at high speed. 3 hours later, a large continent emerged on the horizon. That is Australia. Jing Biao smiled. We are almost there. Ling Jiu and others looked with anticipation at the continent that was slowly filling their field of vision. 10 minutes later, the airship arrived in the air above the continent. The airship kept flying before coming above an enormous castle. A castle. Fortress was the more apt word for it. 100-meter high wall protected the city all on all sides. Stains of dried blood covered the walls. Soldiers in combat uniforms were patrolling on the city walls. The wall was heavily guarded by sentry posts. There were embrasures on the wall, making the entire fortress look like a war machine. Once there were dire beasts coming near, those weapons lying in wait would turn into meat grinders and give those invading dire beasts a lethal blow. Besides, the area within 10 miles from the fortress was scorched earth. There was not a single tree. Not even grass. Visibility was good when looking down from the fortress, from where people could see clearly if there were any dire beasts coming. The airship landed on a landing pad in the center of the fortress. As the four of them disembarked, a group of people came up from afar to meet them. "Welcome back, sir." The leading guy, tan skin, sturdy, wearing a green camouflage outfit, stepped up to greet Jing Biao. "Yup." Jing Biao patted the guy's shoulder with a smile. "Have other mentors come back?" "They are all almost here." The sturdy guy replied. "Good." Jing Biao nodded, then looked at Ling Jiao and the rest. "Let's go. Let me bring you to register first before settling you down." "Yes, sir." Jing Biao brought the three of them to the camp leader's office. In Jing Biao's words, the camp leader was the head of the super training camp, a high-ranking officer not lower than departmental managers in the company. He had an unfathomable level of strength. "Glad to see you back, Jing." Chapter 79. New roommate, different benefits. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. After seeing the camp leader, getting the registration done, and informed of their room numbers, they came to their respective rooms. Ling Jiao's room was number 308. The door was opened when he arrived. As he entered, he saw that the room was built with a special alloy, of which the tables, chairs and beds also made. The room, measured about 40 square meters, contained 2 empty alloy beds. What a shabby place. Ling Jiao mumbled to himself. There was no comparison between this room and his maglev airship, not to mention his company mansion. He could not believe that this was the accommodation the super training camp provided for a genius like him. While Ling Jiao grumbled quietly, a handsome teenager emerged from the bathroom with a basin in his hands, seemingly wanting to clean the bed. "So you are my roommate, eh?" The handsome teenager said hello enthusiastically with a light in his eyes when he saw Ling Jiao. "I stay in room 308 too." Ling Jiao let out a smile. The teenager was wearing sunglasses. But by the looks of his face, he was pretty handsome. "Hello, my name is Gang. I am from Yangzhou base city." The handsome teenager self-introduced. "Nice to meet you." Ling Jiao let out a faint smile. "My name is Ling Jiao. I am from Lantian base city." After exchanging some pleasantries with Gang, he started to sort his stuff. He had not been sleeping ever since he had awakened his arcana. There was no need for a bedsheet and a blanket. All he needed was a towel, toothbrush, facial cleanser and other toiletries. After sorting things out, it was already noon when Gang invited Ling Jiao for lunch, and Ling Jiao did not decline. But he also asked Ai Yuha and Yang Ling.er to go along. The four of them came to the canteen where they met the other trainees. Most of them were of their age and of different skin colors. Yellow, white, black and brown. Ling Jiao even saw some Japanese. Ling Jiao was transfixed as a story about Japan he had read online came to mind. 30 years ago, during the invasion of dire beasts, there was a dimensional fissure appeared in Japan. This had caused the dire beasts in and around Japanese islands to evolve rapidly. At last, most Japanese had either died, fled, or migrated. Japan had disappeared as a nation in less than 10 years. Only a small number of Japanese who had fled to the other parts of the world survived. Seeing Japanese here surprised him. A day had passed since then. The next morning. The rushing sound of the siren resonated throughout the fortress, followed by a voice speaking through a megaphone. All trainees are required to assemble in the square immediately. The assembly. Quick. Go now. It did not take long before all trainees had left their hostels and come to the square. The fortress was in the shape of a hollow cylinder with hostels, canteen and other structures surrounding a large and empty square in the center. This was the square where they had assembled. Everyone was standing in the middle of the square. Other than the camp leader and Jing Biao, many others had a horrifying aura in them. Time for a roll call. After that, the camp leader gave a speech. The camp leader was a spirited, gray-haired old man. He wore a military uniform, stood with his back strengthened like a flagpole on the spot, and an aura of determination and bravery. You all are the top geniuses from around the world, the best of the best from your respective base cities. I am glad to see you all. The camp leader suddenly changed his tone. But I want to tell you all, you are nothing here. Because everyone else in the training camp is stronger than all of you. So, you all must not slacken. Only by hard work and stretching yourselves to the last drop of your potential, you could enjoy the best benefit and resources. Next, I am going to set up a leaderboard for you all. The camp leader pointed at the giant screen erected in the center of the square. The higher the position you are on the leaderboard, the better the benefit you will enjoy, as it proves how much hard work and effort you have put in. The 200 trainees looked up at the giant screen in the middle of the square. Right now, there was not a name displayed on the leaderboard. The leaderboard will be updated once a week. Those who are ranked at the top will receive handsome rewards. Those in the top 30 will receive a beginner.grade vitality enhancement fluid and a beginner.grade gene arcana enhancement fluid. Those in the top 10 will receive an intermediate vitality enhancement fluid and an intermediate gene arcana enhancement fluid. Those in the top 3 will receive an advanced vitality enhancement fluid and an advanced gene arcana enhancement fluid. What? Everyone was stunned at hearing that. The vitality enhancement fluid could enhance stamina, vitality, and body cells. It was definitely a precious potion in enhancing physical strength. The gene arcana enhancement fluid could boost gene arcana and increase internal strength. It functioned much like the snowdragon bile. Like all treasures of heaven and earth and gene potions, these two gene potions could not be bought with money. They were of special items, only exchangeable with contribution points. Their prices were: Beginner Vitality Enhancement Fluid, Gene Arcana Enhancement Fluid. 5 contribution points. Intermediate Vitality Enhancement Fluid, Gene Arcana Enhancement Fluid. 50 contribution points. Advanced Vitality Enhancement Fluid, Gene Arcana Enhancement Fluid. 500 contribution points. There were vast differences in prices between the beginner, intermediate, and advanced vitality. Enhancement fluids, Gene Arcana enhancement fluids. In fact, the efficacies of these different grades of vitality enhancement fluids, Gene Arcana enhancement fluid, differed vastly. But all these were given as rewards to the trainees. That showed how generous the training camp was. How fast my self-cultivation will improve if I get an advanced vitality enhancement fluid and an advanced gene arcana enhancement fluid every week. Ling Jiu thought. In fact, everyone shared the same thought. The higher the score, the better the benefit. This is just part of it. The camp leader continued. The higher your ranking is, the better environment of self-cultivation you will get. You may not know that the dimensional fissure is right under our feet. An endless stream of gene arcana is leaking out of it constantly. What? The dimensional fissure is right under our feet. Chapter 80. A Cruel Scheme, Work for Free. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Everyone was shocked. Despite knowing that there was a dimensional fissure in Australia, they did not expect to see it under their feet. Are we standing on a dimensional fissure? Are we going to fall? Everyone got chills. That was a dimensional fissure they were talking about. What if they fell into it? Gene Arcana is leaking out of it every second, so there is a high concentration of Gene Arcana around the dimension fissure. High concentration. how come I couldn't feel it? Ling Jiu grumbled. You all can't feel the changes in gene arcana because we have rounded it up as it leaks out of the dimensional fissure. The camp commandant explained. And then under our feet, we have constructed the self-cultivation rooms, which are the famous 12 underground chambers. 12 underground chambers. Everyone looked at him with bated breath. The 12 underground chambers are right above the dimensional fissure, divided into 4 levels, each of which contains 3 self-cultivation chambers. There are 12 in total. Just 12, the trainees looked at each other. There were 200 trainees but only 12 self-cultivation rooms in the training camp. That was not enough to go round. The camp commandant quickly answered their question. Why just 12? Because it is to prevent mutual interference. As we all know, our Gen Arcana secret technique could forage Gene Arcana from as far as 1,000 meters or even 10,000 meters away. If the self-cultivation rooms are too close to each other, there will be interference. So they have to be at least 10,000 meters away from each other. But because of the great distance, we could only construct 12. Aha! Everyone suddenly catoned on. The Gene Arcana concentration decreases as you go from level 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, and from 3 to 4. The camp commandant paused, then continued. The Gene Arcana concentration is the highest on level 1 and goes down at each subsequent level. Their concentration ratio is 1000. 100, 10. 1 different by a factor of 10. 10 times the difference. That was a vast difference. Everyone swallowed hard. The 12 underground chambers are specially made for you all. Specifically, they are for the outstanding trainees. The camp commandant gave everyone a once-over. Top 3 trainees will earn the right to use the level 0.1 self-cultivation chamber. Top 6 trainees will get to use the self-cultivation rooms on level 2. Top 9 trainees use the 3 self-cultivation rooms on level 3. As for the 3 self-cultivation rooms on level 4, they are shared among the top 50 trainees. Shared. Everyone was startled. How? According to your position on the leaderboard, each person may use it for an hour. What about the rest of the trainees? The rest of the trainees are not qualified to use the 12 underground chambers. They can only use the hostel. D***mn. This is so unfair. There was an uproar. Top 1, 2, and 3 trainees were to use the level 0.1 chambers. Top 4, 5, and 6 trainees were to use the level 0.2 chambers. Top 7, 8, and 9 trainees were to use the level 0.3 chambers. The rest of the top 50 trainees were to share the level 0.4 chambers. The rest of the trainees were not even qualified to share the 12 underground chambers. It was hard to accept such differentiated treatment. You all can't accept it, isn't it? The camp commandant looked at the trainees with a nonchalant expression. If you all can't accept it, then work harder. Remember this. The super training camp only trains the elites, the strongest, not a place for the trash to dawdle. In simple words, the more outstanding you are, the better resources you will get to enjoy. The higher your leaderboard score, the more advantages you will get. If you don't want to be left behind and the gap between you and your peers to widen, then work harder. Only by working harder could you enjoy the best benefit and resources. Everyone clenched their fists with a bitter fighting spirit in their eyes. They were all geniuses, and no one thought they were worse than others. They believed that as long as they worked harder, they would get whatever they wanted. The camp commandant glanced over at everyone and looked satisfied. Those who were present were geniuses. As soon as he triggered their motivation, there would be competition. Heroes were made, not born. Only those who emerged from the cruel competition were the strongest. What determines the ranking on the leaderboard, sir? Someone asked. Others listened with their ears stand erect. After all that was said, the key to everything was the leaderboard. I will explain that later. The camp commandant let out a faint smile. I have talked about the ranking earlier. Now let me tell you about the self-cultivation arrangement. The super training camp has only two types of training. The gene arcana cultivation and field combat exercise. The gene arcana is our internal strength, without which we can't use our arcana. Without adequate gene arcana, we can't fight a long battle. So the gene arcana cultivation is the top priority. As for field combat exercise, the camp commandant paused, then continued. Needless to say, as an arcanist, you are not qualified to call yourself an arcanist without actual combat experience. So this is the arrangement: you all are to practice gene arcana cultivation on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The place: 12 underground chambers and hostel. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are for field combat exercise. The venue: the wilderness. The wilderness. Everyone was stunned. Our duty in this era is to hunt the dire beasts. So dire beast hunting will be our field combat exercise. The camp commandant looked at everyone. There are more dire beasts outside the fortress than you could imagine, from the weakest class 0.1 dire beasts to the chart-topping dire beast kings, and your mission is to go into the wilderness every Thursday morning, hunt the dire beasts, and bring their corpses back to the logistics department before 6 p.m. on Saturday. The logistics will compile a list of the dire beasts that you have hunted according to their classes and levels of strength, which will form the basis of your ranking on the leaderboard. The higher the score, the higher the ranking, and the lower the score, the lower the ranking. That also means your leaderboard's ranking is based on your field combat performance from Thursday to Saturday, and your ranking will determine the benefit you get to enjoy. Everyone was holding their breaths as they quickly digested the information they had just heard. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were for the gene arcana cultivation. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were for field combat exercise in the wilderness. The more the number and higher the class of dire beasts they hunted, the higher the score they would get, and the higher their ranking would be. The ranking determined the benefits they would receive. The Vitality Enhancement Fluid, the Gene Arcana Enhancement Fluid, the usage of the 12 underground chambers. This is a brutal competition. If they wanted to enjoy the best benefits, they had to work harder by not only practicing self-cultivation but also hunting the dire beasts. They had to fight every minute. I've got a question, sir. A young Caucasian guy raised his hand. I am listening. Will we get paid for the dire beasts that we hunt after bringing them back to the logistics? The young guy asked. This was the question that had been on the mind of everyone. Back in their base cities, they hunted the dire beasts and got rich from it. So could they continue to make money by hunting the dire beasts while they were in the training camp? The camp commandant shook his head and laughed. Let me tell you a cruel reality. Do you all know from where we get the money to pay for the running of the training camp, the Vitality Enhancement Fluid and the Gene Arcana Enhancement Fluid for 30 trainees every week? Air. Everyone was stunned. The money comes from the dire beasts that you all hunt. So, stop asking this kind of stupid question. You all are to hand over all the dire beast corpses to the logistics and will not get paid a single cent. All we could give is the scores. That's it. If you all think you can't accept this, you all can pull out from the super training camp right now. I believe no one is going to stop you.